So this one is about a wave. So it's a travelling wave. So we're not worrying about standing waves in this question. It's a travelling wave. Now, what distinguishes this from a standard GCSE style question is that rather than giving you a disturbance against time or a displacement against time graph, it's a vertical height against horizontal distance. So this is a picture of the wave sort of frozen in time. So time isn't changing. So actually, you're not going to get any time information from the graph. You're not going to be able to work out the time period just from the graph. You're not going to be able to work out the frequency from the graph. So you've got to do something else. So it's as if you've taken a snapshot of some waves on a string, and you've been looking at it sideways on. You've just taken a photograph of it, and it looks like this wave pattern. Or if you've looked at the surface of water and taken a photograph, and you've got this instantaneous picture. So you've no way of determining what the time is unless you're given some additional information. The additional information you're given in the question is that the speed of the wave is 20 centimeters per second. So we've got that the speed of the wave is 20 centimeters per second, and we can work out the wavelength. So the speed of the wave, I'm going to use c for the speed of the wave, and that is 20 centimeters per second. So it's standard to use c for waves. You could use v as well. That's just as valid, but I'm going to use c. So c is 20 centimeters per second. I'm going to use the graph to find the wavelength, and with those two pieces of information, I can find out the frequency. So the wavelength, if I look at the graph, peak to peak is 4 centimeters. So looking at the graph, peak to peak is 4 centimeters. Peak to peak to next peak, so two full wavelengths is 8 centimeters. So I'm pretty confident the wavelength is 4 centimeters. So now I've got those two pieces of information. I can use that c equals f lambda to find the frequency. So I can rearrange for frequency, and I can sort this out. So c over lambda, so 20 over 4. Now it's in centimeters, but because this is in centimeters per second and this is in centimeters, actually the units cancel. So that's fine. So frequency is 5 hertz. But the question isn't asking what the frequency is. So there's a bit of an additional trap there. It's asking what the time period is, and the time period is 1 over the frequency, or frequency is 1 over time period. So the time period is 1 over f. So it's 1 over 5, which is 0.2 seconds.